I'm Insomniac.
And I'm Pops.
And this is Shooting the Shit,
a.k.a. Chatting with Pops.
Alright, this is episode 57 of Shooting the Shit, a.k.a. Chatting with Pops. And today's topic is what are the 5 places or things that you would do on your bucket list that you have not already done. And that's from Xylo. Take it away.
Well, I think this is going to be a little more than 5. I wouldn't exactly say I'm a guy who has a bucket list, but if I have to say I have a bucket list, then for sure it's going to probably be a few more than the top 5, but it'd be 5 that you won't even believe what the first one is. The first one is go and see Dave Matthews Band. Now, the thing that sucks there now is I'm not going to see, can't see the original band anyway, things fell apart there. But like Boy Tinsley now ain't there, right? So
He's the only original member not there other than the one guy who died.
Well, the guy who died, yeah, so. But, yeah, go and see the Dave Matthews Band would be like, I know that sounds ridiculous on the bucket list, but that would be number 1. I still have not seen them. And for me, it would be more about seeing Dave, well, the whole band, but, you know, really, Carter Buford and Dave. But, so, yeah, that, you know, Dave Matthews. And then, you know, really, I guess it would be traveling type things. Like me and Rob talked about that road trip things on different routes, but, and then Rob had talked about there's a trip that you could go around the whole country. In our country, I think, in my opinion, we have one of the most beautiful countries in the world. One of the most. I would love to see, you know, drive the whole country. Drive it. That would be on my bucket list. I'd have to say, you know, I got to bring up flying first because I've not flown myself. It's on my bucket list, but it would be low because I admit it's not something I want to do. Go up in the air But I'd have to say flying before the next one, which would be I would, aside from traveling my country, going out of this country, I really would say I'd only want to see, me and my wife discussed this before, like Italy, you know. And then there's really, for me, I guess there's just one more. I have ridden motorcycles on and off through my life. Usually other people's. I kind of owned a motorcycle one time with my brother-in-law. Rode that all the time, and I definitely like riding. I love riding. But not enough that I've had a bike, owned a bike, kept a bike because, you know, I don't think my wife would want me to have a bike. Yeah. But I would love to get a Fat Boy, Harley Fat Boy. I don't even know if they make this bike anymore or that type of bike with like a knucklehead in it and just be able to ride that whenever the hell I want, you know. So that would be on my bucket list. I mean, you know, I guess buying a different house than the one I've been dwelling in for a long time would be on the bucket list too. And it wouldn't be some big extravagant thing as we've talked about here, and we have these fantasies and, well, you know, it would be just a nice cozy place with certain things that I'd want that would, you know, make my life comfortable for the things I do. So that would, you know, I would say that would have to be on in fact, that would have to be quite high on the bucket list, having a nice little house and a nice place other than where I'm living now. So I that's it. You know, I just spewed them off pretty quickly. So that's my my top 5. I don't know how long this episode will be unless we start discussing these things. But you're on.
I don't have a bucket list.
Well, I didn't necessarily either, but if
I'm like trying to survive over here, so I'm not really worried about, you know, one-off things that I want to do. So I was giving this some thought since he texted me the topic yesterday, and honestly, I don't have any great answers for you. If I had to spit a couple things out there, and see, they're kind of vague. They're not like, there's just one thing I want to do. I don't really have any one thing I want to do. What I want to do is, you know, get my life together and, you know, and be some form of content. And that's not really a bucket list item. But if I were, in terms of travel, I don't really care about any place in particular. There's really only 2 things that need to happen, you know, 2 criteria. It can't be cold, and it has to have a beach. So I'd like to visit like all kinds of beaches in all different countries, and you know, because all beaches obviously are quite a bit different. you know, in different oceans, different sands, different climates. So I'd like to go to a lot of beaches. Otherwise, I was thinking about, you know, something that I'd wanted to do for years, something that I don't think will happen because of the way things are going with the FDA. And it's not necessarily a business goal of mine anyway, but if I had a bucket list item of something I'd like to do, I'd like to open a coffee and cigar shop, but the two together, which is, you know, would be tricky for a lot of reasons. Opening a cigar shop anymore is almost impossible, period, but somewhere where you can, you know, go and smoke your cigars and have coffee. Basically, it would just be a coffee bar and cigar lounge. That would be really cool. You know, otherwise, I don't really have a bucket list. Like I said, I mean, I kind of have like 1,000 things I want to buy, but I don't really consider those bucket list items because you're talking about things you want to do or places you want to go.
Right.
The places I want to go basically are beaches, and the things I want to do basically lay on the beach and swim in the ocean, preferably with a nice dive watch on. Like,
Yeah.
that's about it.
There's other things that would be on this bucket list. He said 5. I don't know if it went over, but there are certain things on this bucket list I can't say that I'd like to do. I mean, in all fairness, but I can't say. It would literally be tacky to some people, probably. But there's a couple other things that I would like to say, but I can't. So I'll leave it at that.
Oh, yeah, I'd kind of like to do that coast-to-coast thing I told you about, the race. But I'd like to do it in a Mustang this time.
Yeah.
As opposed to the people that did it in that Mercedes.
He said,
the problem is I don't have anybody crazy enough to do it with anymore.
He said 5 things because I could go on all night with this really with a book.
I wasn't done talking about that.
Go ahead.
As per usual.
No, because I actually thought about that too, man. Like something fast with a car, something you could do without getting busted. That would be great.
It's not without getting busted. That was a lot of research and electronics and stuff they used to make that happen.
Oh.
Because it was 100% illegal.
Yeah.
But I'd still like to try it.
Yeah.
You know, that thing I mentioned in another episode where these people went from New York to Los Angeles in, 36 hours?
Yeah.
Something like that. Just, you know, see how fast they could drive it. And I had a friend that was actually down to try this with me. But we're not friends anymore. And so...
You'd be in jail anyway.
You know, and the only other person I know that is crazy about Mustangs, he doesn't like going over the speed limit. So he'd never be a good co-pilot.
Why do you have a Mustang?
I've been asking him that for years.
Yeah.
He has one of the nicest Mustangs I've ever seen in my life. And he drives it nice and slow.
And he's 30 years old. And he's been driving it nice and slow since he's 20-something years old.
He got it when he was 18, 19. He has the same one. Beautiful car. Put a lot of time into it. Anyway, that's not what this episode's about. I don't have any other bucket list items. I'm sorry to disappoint you for once. Maybe not for once. Maybe this is the second or third time I've disappointed some people. I don't know. But I don't have like a to-do list of shit that I need to do before I die. Other than like, you know, be financially stable and live a comfortable life. My ultimate goal is basically to just be able to live comfortably and not have to answer to anybody, you know, well before retirement age. That's about all, you know, I care about. This was fun.
Well, yeah.
You got any more over there?
Well, I picked it and, well, I was thinking, you know, he had said 5. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I should.
He's not going to come over here and hit us with a shovel if you do more than 5.
I probably should have opened it up a little more and just put about 20 things down because, believe me, for me, I do have a bucket list, but I don't think about it. I don't go, but when I do get prompted to think about it, I do have one, and unfortunately, because of unfortunate things in my life for many years, I really have a huge bucket list if I get real with myself. So it's that's why I think I've avoided this subject. So if this guy's still one of your patrons, because it's kind of a tough one for me, because I truly do have a bucket list, and I'm hoping I get to something like Dave Matthews at least. But
we're gonna go this year, but the tickets are
ridiculous.
I've seen them 4 times, but in fact 3 of the tickets are right over there on the wall.
Oh yeah,
I lost the 4th one.
Right.
But you know, I don't know. The tickets this year were like butt rape 99
special victims unit,
and that's if you want it like the middle section. And then like the lawn tickets are affordable, but I don't sit on the lawn at a show. I just won't do it because then you can't see the band. You're looking at a jumbotron. I might as well buy the DVD. Like I got to be close to the stage, or I can't go. So maybe next year.
Yeah. So this is a slow episode, but that's my bucket list. That's his bucket list for whatever that is, and I don't know. I don't know if there's too much to discuss about that. Except
no, if you don't have any more, then we don't have any more.
That's it.
That's it. Nice and simple. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
So we could use some more topics.
Who suggested that?
Xylo.
Oh, Xylo, right.
We could use some more topics. We have some more topics, but we always want some more to look through and choose from.
I think next week, maybe we could talk about Matt had asked last year about your memories of 9/11. I think if we get close to 9/11, I'd like to do that topic. I think Matt, guy say his name?
Junior,
yeah.
That actually would be a good topic.
You asked about that early on, like the year.
What's today, the 1st? Yeah, so we'd be putting it up shortly before September 11th. That's
so probably next week we'll want to do that topic, so I'll say it already. And I do want to do it now. I've thought about that.
Yeah, we got that. But also, leave some topics. If you're watching this a week later after this is publicized and you're not a patron, you can't leave any topics. So you might want to get to the link at the top of the video description, sign up at Patreon. You get all kinds of stuff, plus you get to suggest topics for us to cover on this weekly segment. Okay, it's getting hot in here.
That's it.
And goodbye.
Thanks. Yeah.